Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Oh, it was live.
This is real, guys. Yes, this is real. Run it back. FanDuel TV. Our third to last show of the season is happening right now. My name is Michelle Chandler P. Lou Will. Charania joining us from a really adorable room somewhere in Dallas, Texas. And he's going to give us the scoop on the vibes in the building last night because we need to talk about that game. Try to get some excitement going for this one. Celtics Mavs, game 3. 106-99 win for Boston. That's a 3-0 lead, folks. No Kristaps Porzingis. Jaylen Brown, 38, 8 assists, 24 of those points in the second half. Jason Tatum had 31, 6 and 5. Kyrie with 35. He was there, 13 of 28. And Luka fouls out with 4 minutes left. That's obviously the big story. Look, they got down by a bunch. They made it an interesting game. I thought for a second there, like, oh, okay. And then it was a loss. And everyone's talking about the Luka foul out. Let's watch it first because I want y'all's take on exactly what he was thinking here and why the immediate complaining when he was wrong.
Yeah, well, that tends to happen, especially now with the replay. We see that happen every single night. And look, honestly, this one, he might have a case, but it's too critical of a time of the game. When he's got 5 fouls, that's a dead block. You know, you're sliding your feet, you're shifting, his feet aren't planted. That's a dead block. The other one looked like it could have possibly been a hook by Jaylen Brown. It's just tough when you're Luka and he you good, bro?
No, I'm going through it. Go ahead.
It's okay. They'll still be all right.
Emotional.
I know,
He's like,
buddy.
God damn it, they're down 3-0. It's that time of the game. He can't do that. He cannot take himself off the floor. He's way too valuable for this team. And again, when he argues with the ref every single possession, I'm sure that takes a toll on them. I'm sure that annoys them. And at the end of the day, he's not going to get the benefit of the doubt when he continues to do this. So I do think some of these were a little chippy, but that block call was the right call. And this one against Jaylen Brown, I think it could have been either way, but it also could have been a double foul, which still would have been a foul on him. So he's just too important to even put himself in this situation, and he can't allow that for them to have any chance to win a game, let alone the series.
I mean, you're watching that game last night, Lou, and you're just like, oh, this could be something. They may actually get this win and make this thing somewhat interesting. And then Luka Doncic freaking fouls out. What'd you think?
I thought 2 things. The effort was there. The intention was there. Just didn't execute. You know, he got himself in some trouble just being a little too aggressive. Instead of relying on his team help, you know, team defense, that was going to help them win the basketball game. I touched on it yesterday. Nobody's expecting Luka to be a lockdown defender. We're not expecting him to sit down, play one-on-one defense. So trust your training. Trust that guys are going to come help you and bail you out of some of those situations when you are out on the island, one-on-one guarding these guys out on the perimeter. I just thought he approached it the wrong way in the fourth quarter, especially with the run that they were making, getting back in that basketball game. And they need him on the floor. You know, it's almost 4.5, 5 minutes left in the game, 4:12 to be exact. They need you on the floor. That's a lot of basketball left to be played, especially when you cut into a lead that was 21 in 3-4 minutes before that.
And this has been Boston's game plan all series long. They get a switch, get the matchup they want, and they drive downhill. And they have not been able to stop it. And now on top of that, it's one thing not stopping it, but to get Luka in foul trouble when the game's tight with 4 minutes to go, Dallas was toast. And Kyrie Irving had a great game last night, and it's good to see him back and aggressive and efficient. But this has been the game plan of the Celtics all series long, and they're a matchup nightmare. There are 4 or 5 guys that can play downhill. There are 4 or 5 guys that can go at that one-on-one matchup, and they're exposing them a little bit. But it's not about just Luka's one-on-one. Like Lou said, he had the effort. It's the other guys. It's putting him in situations. The other guys stepping up, being there. It's them maybe blitzing a pick and roll instead of switching. But there was a couple plays where Luka's almost forgot they were switching and had the guy just blow by him. That was unacceptable. But Boston has done a great job taking advantage of these mismatches.
And he didn't. And it felt like he just lost his composure. He didn't have one of those big blowout moments, but he lost his composure. I remember early, before it even got to that point, it was one he felt like he got fouled, and in return, he turned around and just fouled a guy. He's 94 feet away from the basket.
Not good.
Those things come to hunt you at the end of the games, and it did. So after that, you're getting attacked, and now you're complaining about the referees. I just thought he lost his composure a little bit.
It's like the Minnesota series where half those fouls that Towns would get that put him in foul trouble were tic-tac, and they weren't even worth it. Some of those that Luka have, it's like, just get back.
Stop.
Like, you can't, you're too...
Take a Xanny or something.
Your minutes are too valuable to be getting pointless fouls like that.
Well, he obviously obviously was asked about this one. This might have been one of those pressers I would have skipped if I was Luka, but he was there. He answered questions. Here he is.
Luka, what did you think of the whistles that went against you in the fourth quarter?
I mean, I don't know. We couldn't play physical, so I don't know. I don't want to say nothing, but sixth foul in the NBA Finals, where I'm like this. Come on, man.
See, I don't like that answer because it doesn't matter if it's the NBA Finals.
Also,
Don't love it.
I will say, though, you're down 3-0, and the reporter's asking you, what do you think about the fouls? Because he'd be like, oh, I love them. Like, they were smart fouls. Like, what is he supposed to say in this situation? He's pissed off, but he has to take ownership because these were fouls. He was in the wrong place. He didn't get there in time on that block. So there are things he can do a lot better. But again, I think Boston's game plan and their whole strategy is to go at him, to put him in these binds and put him in the situations that are uncomfortable where he's going to have to sit down and guard. And he hasn't been successful guarding these great ISO players in the Celtics.
Do you think, look, yeah, there's J-Kid on him with the bullseye. Here's my thing, though. We all know he's a hothead. I mean, most of what we say about Luka when we're not talking about how he's a great basketball player is the other stuff, the yelling at the refs, complaining about every single thing that happens. Is there a way that this kid could possibly temper some of that down? Because it doesn't feel like it. I mean, he's doing it on the biggest stage right now, and he still won't stop.
I think this is gonna be a great learning experience for Luka moving forward in his career. He's gonna look back. They're probably gonna lose this championship 9 times out of 10. This hasn't been a team to be able to come back down from 3-0 in the finals. And once he stepped back, take a look back at how this experience went for him, I'm sure that'll change the way that he approaches games, the way that he approaches his leadership role and what he means to teams, because once you get so close to reaching a goal, you tend to look back and you assess everything that happened. How can I be better? Things that I could have did, to benefit the basketball team. And I think he'll take these experiences and he'll grow and he'll learn from them and become a more mature leader moving forward.
Yeah, every year he's going to continue to get more mature. He's going to continue to get better. And don't get it twisted also. Next year, the teams that play Dallas, they're going to have this film, right?
Sure.
They're going to use this tape every single game and make him guard for 82 games for 40 minutes, however much he plays. So there are going to have to be adjustments, whether that's personnel, whether that's different coverages, different terminology they're going to use. But there's definitely going to be ways, and this happens all the time. Like, Jalen Brunson's not the best defender. Jokic isn't the best defender, but they find ways in their system to hide them and to make them usable. You don't have to, we're not expecting Luka to ever be a lockdown defender, but he has made strides. Certain games I'm watching, I'm like, damn, he's really guarding. And I think it's 99% just effort with him. When he's locked in on that and his offensive game's going, he's capable. So again, he's not going to ever be first team all defense, but he doesn't have to be a liability on that end.
Man, there's so much complaint. By the way, the shot of the night was when Mark Davis had to come back to the microphone after the review confirmed, and that he's fouled out, and he was just like,
He hated to even say. He might as well have said, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a very good piece of video. Shams, you were in the building. It looked like a fun, festive atmosphere for a bit. Can you tell us how it was?
I mean, it was electric for sure from the start. And when the Mavericks came out, I mean, they were up double digits to start the game. And just the middle quarters is where they literally lost grip. They punched Boston in the mouth, but then Boston just kept surging. They kept coming. And the way the game, the halftime ended, you could tell Boston was really dialed in. And in third quarter, they took another step up. Have to give the Mavericks credit for the way they fought back down 20 in the fourth quarter. But, I mean, I just looked at Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, the way they embraced each other after the game. And, guys, 4 players, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, Jaylen Brown, the last 4 players in an NBA Finals from the Eastern Conference to have 30 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists in a Finals game. Him and Jason Tatum, the way they both dominated offensively, 30 points each. I mean, it was critical for them. And I was talking to some Celtics people after the game. What makes them so special is they have multiple guys, not just 1 or 2. They have 3, 4, 5, 6 guys that can do multiple things on the floor: defend, pass, shoot, defend. That's what makes up great teams. I think when you look at the starting 5, I can't remember the last time there was a deeper starting 5 than the Warriors won in when they had Kevin Durant there in Golden State. So as well as Kyrie Irving played, and as unfortunate as Luka Doncic's 6th foul was, and Tim Hardaway Jr., 0 points in 27 minutes. That's not going to help Dallas either.
Oh, not an X factor. Here's the thing. Mavs will most likely lose this series, but there's one thing that J-Kid can take home with him. He was right. Jaylen Brown is the best player on the Celtics team. Look, he just has such big moments. So for you, for what you're seeing from Jaylen Brown, is he taking his entire game to another level?
He is, and he always talks about how he feels disrespected, but he doesn't care about that. He's going to get the respect he deserves after this series, after this finals. He already won Eastern Conference, MVP. If it were to end right now, I'd assume he would win finals.
He's still going to win finals.
He's got to.
You know what I mean? So he has been their absolute core. He has been their best player, their most reliable, their most efficient, and he's doing it on both ends. When he came out game one, picking up Luka 94 feet and was physical and was still able to go and get 25 on the other end and get in his bag, he's had explosive plays in transition. He's getting in passive lane. He is their best player on both sides of the ball. Drew Holiday's obviously been electric. He had a great game too, but Jaylen Brown has been their best player by far. And if they go on to win the series, he is going to win conference, finals MVP, which is much deserving.
Give him credit. 2 games, Porzingis went out, and I feel like he won those games for them. Games 1 and game 2, just by being aggressive, how he approached the game, came out. Then you don't have him in game 3, right? So somebody has to step up. Now your superstars are back in town. Jason Tatum he's been the best playmaker they've had. I think Jaylen Brown has been the most aggressive player. Drew Holiday, Derek White have been their best defenders. That's what makes them a great basketball team. It's allowed the two top guys in Tatum and Brown to just go out and be themselves. I thought Tatum was aggressive last night. Still wasn't very efficient, but it didn't matter. He was still out there making plays. Some of the shots that he was taking, I feel like those the ones he's been living and dying with throughout the course of that season. And Jaylen Brown has been the benefactor of most of these guys playing great basketball. You just listen to him when he's mic'd up in the games. He's locked in, he's focused, and he's been the best player.
Look at their three. Tatum was 4 of 13, and Brown was 2 of 9 from 3, and they're still just dominating that. And they're still, and it's crazy to me they're even shooting so much. How much success they're having getting downhill and getting to the basket. So can you imagine what these scores would look like if they were actually shooting 35-40% from 3 every game? Like they're dominating in so many ways of the game that when they are inefficient like this, it almost doesn't even matter in this series. That's why yesterday I was harping on the Jason Tatum. It's like, yes, he's inefficient. We'd like to see his numbers be up. He's shooting, 29% from 3, 43 from the field. We obviously would like that to be much higher.
Sure.
But they're winning, and isn't that the that the goal of the whole season is to win? And Derek White has stepped up. Drew Holiday stepped. Everyone in this starting 5 in particular has had that moment where they were huge for the Celtics.
Let's show some love to their bench. We always talked about
Pritchard,
the depth that they
don't have depth.
Pritchard was great. Tillman only made one shot, but he took one shot.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
But give Peyton Pritchard credit. He made some big shots last night and the offensive rebounds. He gave them 2 and 3 different opportunities to get another shot at the basket. And we talked about them not having the depth. They don't need it when they can go to their bench and go 7 deep and have guys that are reliable on the floor.
Yeah, when the season started, I was so all over like the Clippers and the Suns' depth.
Yeah, of
this
course.
shit means nothing in the playoffs when you have the best starting 5 and you have, 2 or 3 great solid players off the bench that know their role, that don't want to do anything outside the box, that don't go rogue and take bad shots. They know their role, and they are experts at their role. They know Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to be the guys going forward, but any given night it could be Drew Holiday. Game 1 it was Porzingis. So when they have and they understand this and they know exactly what their job is each night, it works. It works.
And with their style of play, there's no such thing as a bad shot, really.
Yeah.
This Boston Celtics team took 10 3-pointers in the first quarter last night.
Yep.
Like, that's the style of play. So one of those guys come down and jack up a 3, but you're still getting an opportunity to get an offensive rebound, the way that they play, the way that they go out to hustle plays and 50-50 basketballs, that's their style of play. It works for them.
And there's a difference. If I'm playing on the Celtics and I see Tatum's 4 of 13 from a 3, and he takes another one and misses, I don't care because I know he's also busting his ass on the other end. Like so they play just as hard on both ends, which is very, very rare.
By the way, all this 3-point talk, Boston's still outscoring Dallas by 63 points from the 3. So it looks like they might have missed a bunch, but everyone else is picking up the slack. Shams, the Kristaps Porzingis of it all obviously is a big part of this series as we wind it down, it feels like. Can we expect to see him back?
Michelle, I'm told there is a chance Kristaps Porzingis plays in Game 4. He's got that torn medial retinaculum. That's a 2-part injury. I got a little bit more information about it last night. It's really some swelling that's developed around that ankle area, but he is moving and he is doing workouts, and he worked out yesterday. the Celtics medical staff just did not feel like he was really going to be ready for a game-like environment, but he did work out, and he's expected to do more today, do more Friday. And as long as his movements are the way that the Celtics medical staff wants it to be, he does have a chance to play potentially in Game 4. You know he wants to be out there.
Oh, God,
It's
yeah.
something he's been working for all year. To be out there in a potential elimination game, that's something that Kristaps Porzingis badly wants.
You know what's nuts is they don't need him,
It's-
which is crazy because
kind of
he's been
insane.
so valuable and he's been so good. But if I'm
He did his part,
But
you
if
know?
I'm Porzingis though, Shams is right. Like, didn't work out in Dallas. I have a chance to go eliminate them on their home court where it
yeah.
didn't work out for me. Like, I would not be surprised if he tries to play Game 4, just to give it a go. He's got all offseason, all summer coming up. But
Good point.
it's just unfortunate because he was so electric in his first game back. So to have him have this setback now. But again, at least it's not going to cost him finals.
I mean, it also,
win it without him.
and he was diagnosed as being day-to-day anyways.
Yeah.
You know, so now he got an extra couple of days, he'd probably be just fine.
If this is something that you know can't get worse and you're gonna have surgery anyways, do you play?
I'm definitely playing.
Yeah, like if you're gonna go under anyways to fix it. You have
Without a
5
doubt.
months, 4 months coming up.
Fix it all.
Yeah, like just let it rip.
Shams, one more time for the road. He has a what now? A retin something?
A torn medial retinaculum.
All right, I just
That's
wanted
what
to
it
hear you
is.
say it. I want to hear you say it one more time.
I've never
I got
heard
one of
that.
those too.
You have one too. We all do, apparently. Yeah, somewhere on us.
Yeah.
Love you, mean it. Enjoy your day in Dallas. Have some fun. Go do something fun, for God's sake, Shams. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, he's back. Vince
sir.
Carter on the show.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back, yeah.
We're legendary. We're legendary. Are you kidding me? Half man, half amazing. We're legendary.
So we like the song, but Chandler is irritated. Do you want another
You just
song
get the
now?
same song every time you come on. I'd like him to mix it up a little.
Do you have a request?
Yeah.
No,
He's like,
I'm with whatever.
Care.
I'm with whatever.
Lou's our music guy today because you keep tweeting about music, so we'll just ask you next time. All right, Vince, we're all
Lou.
watching the same series.
We are.
I wish it was a little more entertaining, but if you're a Celtics fan, you're having a blast. So Jaylen Brown, we don't have to pick who the best player on the team is, but it certainly is fun. Is it Jaylen Brown?
It is Jaylen Brown for sure. But I just like the chemistry. I like how the Boston Celtics go about their business. We understand the marquee name is Jason Tatum, but Jaylen Brown's like that pit bull that's caged and just waiting for his opportunity to go ham. It's like, okay, Tatum, he's not balling. He's struggling. I got it. And it is understand, and we want Jason Tatum to be that guy to put up this 30 every night. And I said he could win the MVP, which he's very capable of. But when he's not rolling, he's able to take a step back and allow Jaylen Brown to be himself. And Lou said it. He's their best facilitator right now. He understands. Okay, cool. I'm not scoring, but I can still make plays and get off the ball for other guys to score. And that's why we're seeing a successful Boston Celtics. Because, in my opinion, though, with Porzingis out, Tatum had to step up and play the way he played. Because I tell you, he drives me crazy with some of the shot selections when he's in a groove and he settles for those contested threes when he can get downhill whenever he wants.
I said yesterday, Vince, I was like, the percentage, obviously, we'd like to see him be more efficient, right? But if this were other players, I feel like we would just be focused on them winning and allowing his other teammates to get
that's
off.
fair.
And so it's like, why does everyone nitpick Jason Tatum and make it? Because I get it, he's inefficient. Some of the threes, even last night, he's 4 for 13 from 3, and he's just hoisting some bad shots. Which
It bothered me, TP, because like I said, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's like he was getting downhill. He was getting to the elbow. He was getting to that post up that he wanted. And then all of a sudden he was like, jab step 3. For what? You don't have to. And I think we all see the potential in Jason Tatum. And, look at LeBron, look at Kobe, MJ. We criticize the best players for, let's say nitpick different situations. I feel Jason Tatum has that potential, but just sometimes he lets guys off the hook.
You know what, though, VC? I think we're looking at it as former players. We know what it takes. Like, during the course of the game, you need a layup, you need to get some free throws, you need to get to the line and get an easier look. This is who Jason Tatum is. Like, I feel like those step-back threes, those are layups to him. Those are shots that he feels most comfortable. So when we're thinking about, I need to get an easy one, I think that's what he's looking at those shots as. This is an easy shot for me.
Okay, that's fair. I just say when the shot is not working, if you're struggling, for me, I feel like let me get as close to the basket. Let me see one go in first. Then I get back to, my pet moves and everything like that. I just feel like he has the ability. He worked on his body to get stronger, to overpower people. We were like, oh, okay, he can play bully ball when he wants. He's very good. I'd rather see him take those shots in the post or at the mid range. When you're not rolling, then work your way out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, or at least get to the hoop, get to the free throw line.
I just think he works backwards. I think just his style of play, he works backwards. Yeah.
Opposite.
Yeah.
We got to talk Luka here because to foul out of a finals game, to have 3 of those fouls come in the fourth quarter when it's actually becoming a game again with a shot, it's disappointing. And if you're a Mavericks fan, I would imagine you love the guy, but you're also just today shaking your head. How do you change? Can you change him at this point?
Well, I think both of those guys, Lou and CP, said something that I was over here like, man, that just heads on, spot on. The silly foul he took in frustration came back to haunt him. And I know Lou said that. And like I said, he was trying to be in the right position. And CP, you said at some point late in the game, you don't want to risk, particularly with 5 fouls, let me try to get this charge right now when they need you on the floor. Like, it's just because when you go out, if you look at the stat line, who else really Lively played okay. PJ played well. He had 13 points. Lively had 11 points. But if you don't have another guy to really get off outside of Kyrie, I'd rather have you on the floor taking shots.
That's why they're down 3-0. This is a recognition thing. Somebody on the floor has to recognize. They have Luka on the island. He has 5 fouls. I'm just going to run and jump. We're going to get the ball out of your hands, and Luka, you rotate out and go get another matchup. Instead, they just sat there and watched and allowed him to stay one-on-one on one of the best players on the floor.
Yeah, and you guys said it. CP, you said it. Like, all right, what is Boston doing? Pick and roll with Luka. Whoever Luka's guarding, go set the screen for the switch. All right, at some point, how about we just corral? We stay in it and make them get off the ball, have to swing, and then we contest a couple because Boston, they shoot a lot. They wasn't shooting a great percentage, but that's kind of what I was just like, all right, don't leave them on that island like you're saying.
Yeah, like game 4, when Luka comes up to guard that pick and roll, blitz, make them throw out, and then scramble. Don't just let them attack him and go by him and create for others. At least if you're going to already be at a disadvantage, blitz.
I haven't seen them do it yet, but throw a hedge in there. Something just so you can get
anything other than just switching and letting him get exposed. Like
do what Golden State is doing will do sometimes with Steph. In any pick and roll, he hard shows trying to make the defender go towards the half-court line, and you get out of there with high hands and, stunt, blah, blah, blah. I just think you got to do that. And I understand Jason Kidd's trying not to make them guard and earn it, but I think that's what Boston is making Luka do. They say, okay, go get your matchup, work really hard to get one-on-one, and they're taking away everything else, We don't see the great playmaking. We don't see the big triple-double numbers from Luka because they're making him score one-on-one. And game 4, I just like to see Luka just go get a bucket. The hell with trying to get a foul. Go get a bucket.
Stop.
Because it's like you're not getting them. And I think, Lou, you said it, it's exhausting. It's for the referees. They're tired of arguing with it after a while.
No doubt.
I don't even like watching it. I don't think it's entertaining at all.
It's tough to watch after a while. Especially when you're not getting it. When you're not getting it, it's like, all right, buddy, right now you need a bucket.
You're too good. I think the problem is you're Luka. You're too good.
Well, also, ever since the review, Vince, every play, a guy can't take another guy going
yelling
like
at
this.
the bench.
What do you know? They're just dead wrong, too. I
absolutely
can't stand that.
I don't love it either. All right, let's get off the finals for a second because the Lakers still need a coach. And what a week it's been out here in Los Angeles. They're taking hits left and right. GD Buss is finally getting some negative energy because that for a long time seemed to just sort of slide under. If you just could pick out of a hat, coach of the Lakers, who you taking?
So
do you want it? Let's start there.
You probably can get an interview, VC.
I don't.
You can get an interview.
That's what's up, but I don't want it because, and I feel like a lot of people. To me, this is my opinion. You're gonna fire a coach with some experience. He's now 2 years in. He's gaining experience, particularly when you have a LeBron James and an Anthony Davis on your team with a small window. It is no knock on any coach. Even for me, I'm not taking a job like that with no experience. Like, I can sit here and tell you what I think I should do until you're in the moment. We talk about Darvin Ham. He didn't get it done. He did, but what was he supposed to do with what he was given?
Right.
I'm
Like,
taking
I
so
just
much
don't know,
heat for
like-
that.
What?
For what?
The Lakers fan, because I said that maybe
Why?
they made a mistake. Maybe they should have
How are you
kept
taking
Darvin
heat?
Ham. Because I said I like Darvin Ham. That's it. I said I like Darvin Ham.
Controversial, Lou.
So controversial, right?
But also,
But again, they're talking about experience and inexperience, and he couldn't do this, he couldn't do that. I'm like, bro, what do y'all think is going to happen with another rookie coach? There's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be some growing. There's going to be growing pains.
Yes.
and they're not going to give them the time. There's going to be a short leash, right? So
Two
there's so
seasons.
expectations
Because
for
it's
him to
the
win now.
Lakers.
Yep.
Because it's the Lakers and it's LeBron James and how many more
Yes.
years does he have? What are we going to do? So to me, it's like if you're a JJ Redick, it's like wouldn't you much rather have like the Cleveland job where there's like a more talent, younger team, you can actually develop a program,
stability.
some sort of stability
Yeah.
than like this Laker job where you could literally get fired in 2 years and probably never get a gig. Like that's just a shitty job. And you look
I'm
at the
gonna say
Western
this.
Conference,
You
and
can
see-
get fired in 2 months.
Look at the Spurs,
Right.
the Grizzlies,
Facts.
the Rockets. Every team behind the Lakers are up and coming, and the West is going to be stacked again next year. So it's not the dopest job.
Nope.
And
the
if I'm taking that
taxes?
job, yeah, if I'm taking that job, just like JJ or inexperienced coach with no experience coaching, your first assistant better be a head coach that's
Right.
damn good and you trust and you will listen, because I feel like that's the only way that you will have success in that position with no experience, because you're going to get these situations where you have to come up with a decision right there, and you better trust. Like J. Kidd had Lawrence Frank, who's obviously a head coach that he trusted, that guided him along, because J. Kidd went from player to coach without any experience, and I think that's tough to do. We all think we know what we're doing until we're in the fire.
Yeah, you got to know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And your ego has to allow that to also be
Or
a
you
part
got to
of it.
allow your first assistant to help you out with that.
All
what
right,
you don't
Caitlin
know.
Clark, you're an American Vince, which means you have to have an opinion on Caitlin Clark right now. Not making the
check
Olympic
out,
team. Did
check
you
out the VC show.
You wanna get-
Check out the VC show. I talked about this. Go
Exactly.
ahead.
So what do you think? The Olympic thing. Are people just making it too big of a deal? Should she be on the team?
I don't. So you say marketing, cool. That's fine. Marketing's all great. All right. So you put Caitlin on the team. All right, cool. Now we're gonna have another argument about why isn't she playing? She's marketable. All right, but is she the best player? I just right now I don't think she's better than some of the girls on there. She's more marketable than most of them. She's brought a lot of eyeballs to the game. Absolutely. But it's about winning. Oh, then what comes next? Well, they're going to win anyway. Okay, cool. Well, is she going to play? And also, what do the players think?
That's the
Well,
big
by the way,
one.
isn't,
That's the big one.
isn't the goal of Team USA to put out the best product and to win
Yes.
a gold medal?
No,
Again,
yeah,
you want
it's
people
not-
to watch, but like, don't. At the end of the day, you put the best 12 women out there to win
for your country.
So again, you're right though. Caitlin Clark, if she makes the team, fine. Let's put her on those. Get eyes. Let's bring it because she's gonna have more people watch. But then, you know damn well there's going to be a story. Why isn't she playing? Then she plays 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Why isn't she playing
Garbage
more?
time.
Then she plays like she doesn't play good. You know what I mean? It's
CP.
It just causes a shitstorm when you could just
And
leave.
then she plays 5 minutes and hits 3 threes. What are they going to say? Oh,
Yeah.
see, you should have put it.
She should be
It's
starting.
garbage
Ooh, I didn't think
time.
about that.
They're already up.
Yeah.
Who cares at that point?
Yeah, so
did not
I'm just
think
saying,
about
marketability. Yes, obviously we get what she's done for the sport, but like there's other women in the WNBA that deserve a spot more than her.
He did
Yeah,
it. He
right.
did it.
I agree, and I just think she's gonna be the first person they call the next Olympics for one.
you know
And
what?
also, let's think about this.
Yeah.
FIBA is no pump. Like it's more physical in FIBA. If you know what I'm saying.
The Fever probably don't even want her to play in it.
I mean, she could probably use a couple days off.
Yeah.
All kidding aside.
Yeah,
Go to Paris on your
100%.
own time.
Absolutely.
Like, that's
Flavor
what she
Flav
said.
Flavor Flav did say she's the best player of all time.
Flavor Flav did say
A
that.
dear friend of the show.
Such a sarcastic ass.
Flav.
All right, you may making headlines, but it's not really controversial, Vince. When you said you could have beaten MJ in a dunk contest, and I know it's not controversial because no one flinched. It was just like a duh. But what about like a prime Kobe? Like, are there other guys that you would entertain? No. Okay, lose.
No.
Sorry, I'm asking.
How awesome is that
What do
that
you
you
know?
can say that though? Like, yeah, of course I'd beat Michael Jordan dunk
course.
contest, and the whole world just agreed with you. That's
Like I
awesome.
said, I know MJ like that, and I know how he is. I don't want no smoke. I feel confident in what I bring to the table in
You
that
don't have to
situation.
say
I
it,
would-
Vince. We'll say it for you, Vince.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We're saying
Wait, so
for you.
who would be the
Nobody's
toughest?
beat Vince Carter to dunk.
No,
contest.
like, is there someone out there we're not
It's
thinking of?
Nobody.
Nobody
All
would
of those
beat him.
guys. I would love to compete against all of the greats and put it to the test. I mean, it's
just to beat him. Of course, Vince. Yeah, of course.
Mac McClung would probably bust his ass.
That's the one I was thinking. Also, say it, Vince. Just say what you're thinking.
That's fair.
Actually, don't.
Go
I've
ahead.
never seen you make that face. Don't say anything.
Never seen that face.
Because I wanted to say something to you, CP, but we're on TV, bro.
Poor Mac. Why is he taking straight?
No,
For no
it's
reason.
no shot at Mac.
No,
it's
he's
like,
a-
but that's another, break it. Just go.
Is this in a sweep? By the way, are we done tomorrow night?
Yes.
Oh,
I
damn.
want to say Dallas. I want to say Dallas can. And I actually said this to Fred. I was like, Game 4 is their best chance. You said Game 3, yeah, cool. But Game 4, I felt like that's because you can now lay it on the line and all of the things that we're talking about. It's when I go home. So I feel like now Luka. I feel like we're going to see more of Luka trying to draw fouls. But I think Luka should just go out there and get a bucket and say zero to the referee. And just see what happens. Because like you said,
Strategically, I just don't think it's there.
Yeah, good luck.
no, I agree.
Strategy-wise, I just don't see it's there.
I agree.
What made Dallas special this year was Luka's ability to make plays for everybody
Right.
else.
Yes.
They've taken that away. They're making them play one-on-one basketball, and Boston has been known to be a one-on-one team. You're playing into their hands, and so I think they got them right where they want them. I think this is a
I
sweep.
agree with that.
Tough matchup from
God,
jump
this is
for
a
the
rough
Mavs.
finals. I'm glad I'm not an executive. Vince, love having you on. Enjoy the
Always
rest of your day.
pleasure.
sir.
BC, see you in Tahoe?
All right. I will be there.
Question mark? All right, we'll take a quick break.
No,
Break?
no question.
Or break. When we come back, very smart. Larry Nance Jr.
Oh, Tom Hill?
with the glasses.
With the clear frames,
Ooh.
Run it up, then run it back, yeah.
Crush it, ayy. I'm even crushing you if you get in the way.
Vince Carter winning the dunk contest.
He was.
You can't beat Vince Carter in
No,
a dunk
he was
contest.
here this
All
whole
those
time. Larry
bodies.
Nance Jr. joins us now.
talking about
obviously.
me?
Yeah.
Talking about you.
Yeah, because
No.
did you hear? Okay,
See,
I was gonna
that's
ask
how you know what a great
No.
dunker like Larry Nance. Still, I was like, fuck no, I'm not dunking against Vince.
There's not even anyone close.
even
Like, who's
close.
the
I wouldn't
closest?
consider it.
Nobody. It's Vince
Aaron
Carter.
Gordon, Zach.
Who's number 2?
Everybody else.
That is
Everybody else.
What a,
Everybody
what a
else.
life
Vince.
Vince has made for
Yeah.
himself.
It's
Like no one
Vince.
even flinches when we talk about. All right, fair enough. We got a possible sweep on our hands here, sir, and we need an MVP in these finals. Who you got?
I got Jaylen Brown. Mm-hmm. I got Jaylen Brown. My man has look. I'm so happy for the dude. Last year when they got knocked out of the playoffs, it was left hand this, left hand that, left hand this Finals MVP.
Yeah.
You know what? He's playing so well, we forgot about the dunk contest.
I didn't. It's always here.
Okay.
I always remember it. Like when he dunks in a game, I go.
Jaylen Brown.
dunk.
Yeah, that's
he had a
Guys.
nasty-
Oh, he wasn't. Oh.
You guys, he
would
tries
you
really
bring
hard. Stop it.
His dunks in the playoffs are better than his
His
actual
game
dunk
dunks
contest.
are
Absolutely.
amazing.
Absolutely.
And that's why I give him the benefit
But
of
by
the
the way,
doubt.
you're right, though, Larry. And we thought, by the way, I didn't even bring this up earlier. If the whole Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum thing, Jaylen Brown's
one.
better than him. I think he's playing better. But if I had to pick one of them for next year to start the season, I'm still going Jason Tatum.
Not me.
Like
I go either way.
Like I think he's been great in the playoffs. I think he's obviously been more efficient. The way that he's guarding Luka has been super impressive. But like, I can't just see one playoff year and then be like, hey, you know what? He's better than Jason Tatum. Like,
I don't think it's just one playoff year. I think it's just big moments throughout the course.
I just think we're getting it wrong. It
have to
doesn't matter
pick.
who's better. They're a duo.
I don't know why we think we have to pick, by the way.
Completely
It's
agree.
the dumbest argument. Actually, it's
when
not
Jay
the dumbest.
Kidd like tried to stir some shit up and then
Smart.
act like he didn't try to stir some shit up, like that didn't work out very well.
Talk to me about being down 3-0, mindset-wise. Well, I didn't know. Is there a better way to start that?
That's such a jab.
Something about being down.
How
bad does that suck?
Hold on, let me do that again.
Larry got swept this year.
Larry, your career's been amazing.
What in the world?
Okay, fine.
Not even what it says.
Yeah, I tried to make it shorter.
That's wild.
Hey, man, that's literally not on this paper.
Yeah, that was just an
That's
attack.
crazy.
I was
I
trying
didn't know
to-
you had it out for me like that.
I
That's
don't.
sick.
That was an attack.
Guys, I'm done with you. Fine.
Crazy.
If you were to ever ever be finding yourself down
Hypothetically, hypothetically.
what do you do? Like, what do you do with your mindset? I mean, if you're Luka, if you're Kyrie, if you're the Mavs right now, how are you even tackling today and tomorrow?
I mean, it's back against the wall, right? Like, in a sense, it gets a little bit easier to play because the whole world's already expecting it. It's over in the rest of the world's mind. Nobody's ever come back from a 3-0. So you've got nothing to lose, to where that's sometimes when teams are the most dangerous. You know what I mean? When you play a team like this year, when you play a team like Portland or a Detroit, or, you know, one of those teams that have guys just trying to scrap for their lives, like, that's some of the hardest teams to play against because they got nothing to lose. So similar situation, obviously, you know, at a higher scale, but Boston's going to have to beat them. I don't think Dallas is going to just go out and lose the series. Boston's got to beat them again.
Yeah. Larry, the Pelican season obviously didn't end the way we wanted to, as Michelle,
how is that better?
As Michelle just pointed
How
out.
is that?
By the way, and my question also
It's so
says,
much more polite.
Oh my God.
and my question in the parentheses, it says swept by the Thunder. I wasn't going to say that like Michelle.
But you still said it.
Yeah. What is the outlook? What's the expectation? The Western Conference is going to be loaded next year. What do you see from the Pels that's kind of going to separate you guys next season?
Honestly, health has got to be it. You know, it's a shame that we keep saying the same thing in terms of just our, you know, what requires our success is just health. But you know, when big fella's on the court, we're a problem. You know, in that series, you know, we'll never know now, but that series, in my opinion, looks a whole lot different if we get Z on the court. And it's a shame because we shouldn't even been in the play-in anyway, so he shouldn't have been hurt. You know, it's tough. Obviously, you know, like you said, the Western Conference is doing nothing but getting better. Memphis is going to come back healthy next year. Probably another big jump from the Alien in San Antonio. They're going to be better. Houston's probably better. You know, 1 through 12 in the Western Conference are probably going to be playoff teams in the East. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight.
Like, think about the Western Conference. The only Portland, Utah. Besides that, Spurs are going to be better. Grizzlies are going to be better. It's
gonna be fun.
like that.
I'm just saying, if I had to pick the worst team, it's going to be Portland or Utah, barring like a crazy free agency. But it's loaded. They have literally 14 teams that can make it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
like it.
Nance, I want to ask your opinion on something. You and I, we played for the Lakers for a few seasons together. Based on our experiences, what type of coach do you think would fit? You know, knowing what we went through, knowing the history and everything that comes with being a Los Angeles Laker, what type of coach you think would be a good fit for them?
Personally, I think a first-time head coach is not the answer. That's the LA market is really hard if you've never dealt with something like that before. Obviously, you know, you miss a shot, you know, you're the next fill in the blank. You miss a shot, you should never pick up basketball in your life. So it's tough. Like, I think you probably need an established coach, which I can't necessarily put a name out there for that, but
somebody definitely with some experience, though.
Not to mention,
someone
they
with
just
some
had a
clout.
first-time head coach that didn't work. So we're just going
Right.
to hire another first-timer? Like,
I don't
Look,
think
would you
you
think
need-
your
you
former
need someone.
teammate Braun would be a good player coach?
that's the answer.
I'm gonna say no. No, because a lot of times, like, the very best have a hard time teaching others how to do something because it comes naturally to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, there are certain times, you know, a coach will have to explain something. And Bron, I'm not saying he's done this before, but there are certain times, like, he'll have to explain something. It's like, I just don't understand how you don't get that. Why can't you just take the ball, take 2 dribbles, and dunk on their bigs? Like, just do it. It's like, I don't know. You need someone with a little bit more that
But definitely somebody with some experience.
wasn't the greatest player ever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, somebody with some experience. And obviously, like I said, I don't have a name. I actually thought Vogel was really good for them when they had him, but
Whoops.
you know.
Larry, another experienced coach.
Tough
You
gig.
played for it. JB Bickerstaff. He gets the axe in Cleveland. We talked to Marcus Morris earlier, and we're like, was there a disconnect there? Because JB's my guy. I played for him. I'd never had him as a head coach. Obviously, there's a different role there. There's a different relationship you have with players. Were you surprised by that? Did you see this coming in that locker room? Was there like a disconnect there, or that's just something where they need a fresh face and Donovan just needed something different?
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, like I wasn't I wasn't kept privy to everything that happened in that locker room. Heard a little bit about, my brother's on the team, so I heard a little bit about that. But it was more so, I don't know. I think that's just kind of the natural cycle of the NBA. You get, you've got a team that finishes, top 3 in the conference or has made the playoffs back-to-back years. You expect to improve and you expect to get better. And I don't know. I'm a huge fan of JB Bickerstaff on and off the court. So, I never had an issue with him. Love the guy. I just would have to imagine they're just, you've got, 4 guys that have been all-stars? No, Mobley hasn't been an all-star, but 3 guys that have been all-stars, and Mobley's a ridiculous talent and defensive player of the year candidate. So they've got all the talent in the world. It's just, you just got to figure out a unique system, kind of like Minnesota did, as to how to play those 2 bigs together.
I'm actually shocked you haven't heard JB interviewing for the Lakers. He would make more sense to me, an experienced guy that could get the respect of that locker room.
That would be a crazy turn of events.
Yeah.
If you get fired in Cleveland and end up.
It doesn't sound like it's going to happen.
Yeah, no. I'd be happy for him. That's just a funny twist. With the Boston Celtics looking as dominant as they have been, there've been a lot of conversations already starting. Maybe this is the beginning of a run for them. As far as player to player to player, how great are they on the pantheon of great teams? You once faced one of those great teams, the KD, Clay, Curry, Thompson Warriors.
You just want to talk about me getting
I'm just
swept,
trying to word it perfectly.
That's ridiculous.
You're
That's the
dancing
second
around.
time. That's the second time. If we get to a third, I'm cutting this short.
You're a very nice man. I'm going to ask you one more question. No, so is that considered in your mind the top of the list? And if so, where would this Boston team sort of fit in?
And those 2 will tell you, every year you play a certain team or teams where you're on the court with them and it just feels like, okay, you're playing a different game than us. And to me, the bubble Lakers kind of had that feel. They were just they had 4 7-footers on the court at all times. It felt unfair. They felt on a different level than the rest of the teams in the league, in my opinion.
All right.
When Milwaukee won that year, and when we were playing Boston this year, it was just all right, you guys, there's too many options out here. There's too many options out here. So Boston, I don't know. I had them picked from the second time we played them. It was yeah, these guys are really good. But in terms of the Warriors, I don't think any of these teams are remotely close. Even remotely close. That's the greatest team, in my opinion. The greatest team that's ever been assembled. You don't go 73-9, and that's the greatest team ever. I don't know what to tell you. Rotate, trapping Steph and having to rotate to KD and then Clay. I got nothing for you. You lose.
It's fair.
It's Avengers.
Can't argue that one.
Larry, you lose. It's just.
You are a minority owner of the Leeds United football team. First of all, how did that happen? Yeah. How cool is that, just being a part of, an ownership group like that?
No, man. Soccer has been a passion of mine. If I could swap talents from basketball and go play soccer, I'd do it in a heartbeat. So I love the sport. I watch every game that I can possibly get my hands on. And so, I knew it was something that I wanted to do, once I got into the NBA, made a little bit of scratch, but the opportunity came to get involved with Leeds United and their new ownership. And, I know we talked about Cleveland briefly, and the summers just being so wonderful. It reminded me a little bit of home, honestly, a Midwest feel, hardworking people. So it was just the right fit, and it's been something that I've just had a lot of fun with, and Premier League next year.
That'd be fun.
And I know Joel, and I see Schroeder, I think, is playing over there. Is there an NBA player that you think, who would be the best soccer player, as an NBA player that could go over there?
Oh, none of us.
None of us.
None of us. No, I mean, if maybe a few keepers, but I think tall for a soccer player is 6'3". So, really none of us. We're all too big. Our feet are too big. We just
flopping around.
Now football, American football.
Here we go.
We can do that.
How 30 players from the league could go to the NFL? Is that the number we've decided?
I think plus.
Oh, wow.
I just think it was worded differently. I think it's not wrong to say 30 NBA players would have more success in the NFL than 30 NFL players would have in the NBA.
That's better.
Okay. And I think that is 1,000% accurate.
I'll give you that. I think that was worded
Here's my thing with that. I think, we don't have our game is a game of skill. We don't have players drafted in the NBA just like you got drafted. In what position is he?
Right.
Athlete. Like every year, there's just NFL players drafted because they're just terrific athletes.
That's true. They have that wrestler.
You don't make it. You don't make it in the NBA.
It's also not like we're like watching CD Lamb play and be like, oh, he'd be a hell of a shooting guard. But no, they'd be like, look at LeBron, look at Larry Nance. He'd be a hell of a tight end. So it doesn't happen the other way, which should tell you all you need to know.
Look, I never argued with you. I think it's a good argument. This question's for everyone. There's a Harvard study out there, and it's Harvard, so you know it's smart, suggesting that aliens
You know I like this type
might
of
be
stuff.
living amongst us.
I think so.
Disguised as humans.
This is real.
Seems like a no-brainer to me. If so, who in the NBA is probably an alien?
I've had this theory for a long time, but this is Nance's interview. Go ahead, Nance.
Hold on, wait.
Lou loves it.
I want to know the theory first. I mean, the obvious is Victor Wembanyama.
I don't think
Go ahead,
aliens are like the cone head guys that we've been.
You think it's like Joe Mazzola?
They're shapeshifters.
Yeah, like somebody that's a little strange walking around. You've ever walked past somebody like, he's strange as hell. Like, he's not
Every day.
from here.
Something's off with that cat.
Yeah, something off with him.
From here?
So I agree with
Joe
this study.
Mazzola.
I agree with the study.
Okay, so Missoula is your pick?
Yeah.
Wemby's the obvious one.
Yeah, that's my pick, and I'm sticking to it. Kidding
That's
me?
it?
Yeah.
No players?
Sam Cassell.
That's crazy. Why? Is this how he looks?
No,
That's
you ever
insane.
talk to Sam? You ever talk to Sam Cassell?
You're doing it because of his physical appearance.
Wow, this is taking
You're
a bad
assuming
turn,
I'm
Larry.
doing it for so he's trying to.
I don't think Larry's buying
I
the
got no
aliens
comment.
are amongst us.
I'm not
theory.
either.
He's not touching this thing. Look, Paul.
Oh, you
Very
think I'm going anywhere near that?
Very
Absolutely
disappointed.
not.
Very
Absolutely
disappointed.
not. No,
I
look,
bet.
Hold on.
I bet.
Here's the answer you were looking for. Yes, Victor Wembanyama's the alien.
Obviously,
That dude.
he's
We've
the
never
loser.
seen anything like him. It's crazy.
Yeah,
There
it's
you go. I'll
almost
just
too
politically
obvious.
correct that.
Really.
I've been media trained, by the way.
Nope, that was well done, sir. Larry Nance Jr.
I have not.
No, he hasn't. We appreciate you, man.
been a while.
Enjoy your day and your time.
Thank you, Larry.
Guys,
be back.
appreciate you having me on. Talk to you.
You didn't get.
Did you just say he's not from here? Is your line for an alien?
Run it up, run it back, run it.
We already know nobody's ever come back from down 3-zip.
Blueprint.
What is the blueprint?
If there was a blueprint, then it would happen.
Then it wouldn't be 156
Yeah,
-0. That
wouldn't
is.
be it's going to be tough. We said before this series started, they have to be damn near perfect. They have to be elite. It's just across the board. They just don't match up well. And Boston has taken advantage of the Mavericks' weakness on the defensive end. So there's not. They just have to get hot. They have to be. They have to not turn the ball over. They have to be elite from three. And just play. It's obvious, but they got to play like their season is on the line. There's no turning back. And like the problem is when you're down 3-0 and you get down 8, 10, 12, it's hard not to pack it in.
The crowd's
It's hard
out of
not to be
it.
like, damn, are we really gonna go back to Boston to get our ass kicked there, or is it just over now? So it's
You mean like
it's
the
over.
Pacers? Yeah.
Sweet.
Uh-oh. Whoa.
They probably need to steal the keys to the bus.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's
Now
over.
we're talking strategy.
It's over.
I like that. Maybe a tranquilizer dart
I
here and there.
thought if they were gonna win one, it was gonna be Game 3. No. I thought it was gonna be last.
So you
night.
were wrong. So it's a sweep.
Actually, in our parlay, by the way, I was right on both. And
You were?
You messed it up.
Yeah, dang it. Well, don't listen to me. That's what I've always said.
It's like, do the opposite of the Chandler Parsons,
I'm a
Michelle Beadle,
mush.
FanDuel parlays, and you will be rich.
Man, we have a really interesting show tomorrow.
We do.
A couple of guests. Andrew Nemhard and...
We got Nick Kyrgios, but it's going to be midnight in Sydney where he's tuning in. So God
I'm good
knows.
with the tranquilizer dot.
We're back! I finally got one right.
Huge Boston Celtic fan, Nick Kyrgios.
Oh, well, he'll be in a good mood.
He will be talking that shit.
See y'all tomorrow.
Run it up, run it back, yeah, run it up, run it.